What's going on, everybody? Don't know why that 13 minutes thing kicked up when I just I just started to go live, but you know, what can you do? So anyway, how the hell are you? I hope you're all doing jolly well this evening. It's another Monday night. Obviously not a Monday night live though. Tonight is a night where we are going to be looking at a product, and we may get into doing a lot more of those this week. So if you are into it, I'm going to try and do something I've not done before, and I don't know if I'll be well enough to do it, but we're going to give it a go. And so this is not the only live or the only video that you will see from me this week. So make sure you are subscribed and you have hit the bell and chosen that you get lots of notifications, because yeah, there'll be quite a few of these. I'll try and make sure that they are all at 7:30 p.m. So at the same time as this, so everyone's a winner. Now I've got some chat in front of me and by the side of me and all sorts of stuff. I can bin people here. If people are being idiots. Just a quick one. This is a product review and a look at a product. This isn't a normal Monday Night Live, so this is going to be a little bit short, well, quite a lot shorter than the sort of hour and a half, 2 hours we would normally expect. But also, if you've got any questions about the product, please do start them off with @VapingBiker. That way, it might sort of show me that what you're asking a little bit easier. Equally, though, if you I'm not asking you to super chat, but if you do, that makes sure that I see your questions. So that's always another extra way. Again, you don't have to, but it's there for a reason. So we've got a bunch of people in the live already, which is great. Hopefully, how's it looking? How's it looking? Is it looking all right and sounding all right? Let me just turn the sound down on my computer so you don't keep having some little blips and blops and what have you. Right, so I've got I've got the chat going there. That's all fine and dandy, so I don't have to turn my head. I just have to look down to see what we've got going on. Is this Kerry King live? Maybe it might be going a little bit that way, but no, I'm not slayering up quite yet. Lost Vape DNA. Well, we'll come to that one in a moment. We've got a bunch of you in chat. So again, this isn't a normal Monday Night Live. So I'm not going to be doing all the intros and all that sort of nonsense. So we're just going to get straight into it. And tonight we are going to be looking at the Grus mod, which is I don't know why it's called the Grus mod, but it is called the Grus mod, and that's one of them. I've got two to look at tonight and some information. I've also got a bunch of atomizers, so I can show you what a bunch of different size atties look like, because this does accept some pretty large atomizers if that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy, although there is a sort of a caveat with that, I guess, to some degree, but we'll come to that in a little while. So, yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff going on. The most important thing about this mod, and I can see a lot of people are asking about DNAs in the chat, this is not a DNA mod and is extremely affordable for one of these products, particularly for how much or how it feels in the hand, and that I'll come to as we go through the product as well. So again, if you have any questions about the product, please do let me know through the video. @VapingBiker or a super chat. Either way, hopefully I'll get to see what you're asking. All right, gravy. And then if we've got time at the end just for a few bits and bobs, then we can poodle about and see how we're going on. But yeah, hopefully we're all looking good. Hopefully the sound is okay and we're in focus and it's not too fuzzy and all that sort of nonsense. So let's get into it, shall we? Let me click my little button, move my microphone around, and here we jolly well go. I'll put that there. So we've got the Grus mod. We've got two different Grus mods to look at today. We've got one. This is the one that I've been using already. So this is the one that I've had. I can't remember how long I've had it now. I can't remember how long I've had it, but I've had it a little bit. It's not a crazy long time. In fact, yeah, let's just talk about that. This isn't a long-term review because I haven't had it for a massive amount of time. And I asked people on my community page on YouTube if you wanted to see reviews sort of within a couple of days, within a week, or all that sort of stuff. And a couple of people pointed out, and I think Steve Cuz from Heart Leathercraft, I think By the way, go and check out Hart Leathercraft, H-A-R-T, if you want some pouches for your mods and all that sort of stuff. Very good. But yeah, when it comes to, what was I saying? Usage of it. There we go. I have been using it a little while, and one of the things that came up in that discussion was, you know, I've been doing this for long enough now, so I've got an idea if things are working as they should do or not. Now, the only way we're going to know about paint finishes and all that sort of stuff is through months of work, and by the time that we've gone through that, people aren't interested in watching the review. So hopefully we can answer a bunch of questions on it today, and certainly give you a bit more information about this mod. I don't know if many people have looked at it so far, so hopefully it will help you out. Right, let's get back to it, shall we? Okie dokie then. Now, still got my sound on. I've got a coffee here as well. Look, happy Christmas. Let me just have a sip of this. Okie dokie, so we have got two to look at. We'll look at this one to start with. Now this is real wood on here, and it was something that I wondered about, and I asked Lost Vape about it, and they said yes, it is in fact real wood. I don't know if it's come from a sustainable source or whatever. Now then, the front of this, do you know what? Hold on, it's worthwhile, trust me. Not that all day. Hashtag professional YouTuber. I meant to get these ready at the start and I completely forgot, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Having a quick look around, let's just zoom in a wee bit. The camera I'm using isn't the fastest to focus, unfortunately, but hopefully we can get there with it. So we've got the mod itself. You can see that we've got some sort of divots kind of cut out at the sides there, and that gives us this kind of slightly angular shape. Now, when I saw this to start with, I thought this was going to be something that was, you know, uncomfortable in the hand, and it just looked a bit weird. That being said, it's actually been really comfy. And that means that when you're holding it, your thumb sort of sits in one of those divots, and fingers do as well. And it's strangely comfortable in the hand. Now then, what else we've got? We've got Grus on one side of that. There again, I mean, this camera is a bit poo. I should have put my other camera on, but I didn't. We've got Grus up there. We've got Lost Vape going on up there. And then underneath, when it comes to the battery door, because we know we have had some battery door issues in the past, we've got one of the little screw-in jobbies. Now then, this is something where it's difficult to get under there to get the little pull out. If I can stop that light refracting. It's difficult to get the pull out if you haven't got at least a little bit of a fingernail to be able to undo that. But that's something that you do have to be aware of. This doesn't flip down by itself. You do have to push that down. Then we pop the battery in. Positive goes up. And then we tighten that back up again. There is quite a few threads on here, but I'm okay with that because it generally means we're getting a nice solid connection. Now then, when it comes to the top, we do have a beast of a 510 going on top of there. Now, when it comes to the measurements, I am going to measure this one. We did it when I unboxed it for patrons. And we are going to have just another little measure just to be absolutely sure. Now, the full outer on this is 30, just over 30.34 millimeters. So that's something that you can be aware of. However, just to let you know that, is this going to show? Is this going to show? Is it going to focus? Kind of. You might be able to see just here and just here that there is a little bit of a shoulder to the top of the 510 there. So if you were to go out with a full bore 30mm atomizer, it might not poke over the side here, but what it might do is you might see just a little shadowing where you've got that shoulder at the top. Okay. So that's what you got going on there. So you've got something that can have a decent size atomizer. Now, I said about caveat, which I'll come to in a little while. Someone remind me if I forget. But the front. Now, the front of this is an interesting thing, and the reason I say it's an interesting thing is because this is my least favorite part of the mod. I do like the mod, but it's my least favorite part. Why is it my least favorite part? Because right next to it, right there, is the old Mirage, which is a few years old now. And that faceplate looks pretty much the same. I mean, the new one, which is on this side, is a little bit smaller. But, you know, I think that faceplate cheapens it a little bit. That being said, this is very cheap, and we'll go back to that again in a moment. But, yeah, I mean, this Mirage is super old now from Lost Vape, and I just would have liked to have seen maybe a metal plate on the front of this, or something that just wasn't this same sort of plastic nonsense going on there. Now, when it comes to the shape also kind of reminded me a little bit of this thing, the Sirius that Lost Vape's sort of cheap and cheerful brand did a few years ago. I don't know why it reminded me of it, but it did. The exciting thing I think about this though is the fact that the Sirius was a dual 18650. The Grus is a single 21700. And so what we've got going on there is it is thinner, clearly, but it's also something. Hang on, let me just change the chat. I've got it on top chat rather than live chat. Have we got an idiot in here? Have I got a bin somewhere? Someone? Hang on. Nope, there we go. So yeah, I mean, it is thinner, but it's only a tiny bit taller. And that, I think, is impressive. It sort of shows how far we've come when it comes to design and all that sort of nonsense these days. Anyway, that is the Grus. Let's have a look at the screen. Hang on, zoom that up a little bit more. Okay, is that the middle? Right, so we've got this in white at the minute. This is something where we can change the color. Obviously, it's telling us to check the atomizer at the minute because I've got nothing on top. But 5 clicks turns it off. 5 clicks turns it on. Wallop. Happy days. So when it comes to the up and down, we have got normal up and down buttons here in a similar layout to the DNA stuff, it must be said. But we've got up and down buttons going on there, right there. We do go up in 0.1 increments. However, that will zoom up there at a fair old crack if you just keep your finger on there. Now then, as I said, 0.1 increments unless you're keeping your finger on the button. Now then, when it comes to the 100 watts, it does round robin, if that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy. And bosh, there's that. Now then, why have we got the 3 buttons if it's not a DNA? The middle button is your select. So you click on that, you can see that the power on the top there went red. So if we click on that again, that's white. When it's red, like the DNA stuff, you can then change stuff around. So that's not ideal for this kind of light, unfortunately, but if I scroll down, that's stainless steel 316. Then we've got titanium. Then we've got Ni200. Then we've got voltage. And then we're back to power again. So there we go. That keeps that super easy. Now then, we can change the colors on here if that's the sort of thing that tickles your taste buds. And if you keep your finger on the middle button, you can see that we've changed to red. And again, we've got green. We've got, obviously, the strongest color is on the pointy bit, but there is a sort of a hue of that color that goes on the rest of the screen as well. And then we've got light blue or teal, I suppose. We've got that color, which is, yeah. And then we go back to white again. So if you've got a bunch of things that you want to go with, you can do it. What's the point of the 0.1 increments? That's very relevant if you're a mouth to lung vapor. If you're a low wattage mouth to lung vapor, 0.1 is very relevant. I don't think it's overly relevant once you get past, say, 25 watts. But that's just the way this board is. Now then, something else on here as well. One thing I haven't done, is I haven't checked the rate at which it charges. But it does have Type-C charging on here as well, rather than the old sort of Type-B USB. So we've got Type-C in there, which is good, and I think everything should come with the Type-Cs in this day and age. So what we've got going on there is a mod that's it's a nice size. It's not overly large, and it's something which I think looks quite classy. Now, the thing about this one, in fact, hang on, before I tell you about prices and all that sort of nonsense, let's have a look at the other one as well. I've not been using this one, but it does contrast what we've been talking about a little bit. that to one side. And this one is the I can't remember the name of the color, but we've got this this color down the side of it. I think this is part of their Universe series. I'm not entirely sure. Now this isn't resin. This is a an acrylic, but it's not resin. So it very much reminds me of the sort of the kind of the 3D-ish kind of stickers you had when you were a kid. Do you know what I mean? But it's you know, once the light catches it, it's certainly very striking. But that's a couple of the different colors. This is the gunmetal. This is not. But that's the two differences. Other than that, they're both exactly the same. Obviously, they're the same mod, but just a couple of different looks for you to play with. To be honest with you, I think the wooden one is classy AF. So I think it looks really, really good. Now then, in the box, we haven't looked at that yet, so let's get that done. We do have a user manual. I mean, it's super easy, this mod, so you don't really need to... Oh, you have also got a if it's the up and select button, I believe. Yep, there we go. We've got up and select is locked and unlocked, so you can lock those puppies as well. There you go. I forgot that. But we've got a user manual. Like I said, it's super easy, so there's not really a great deal you have to worry about with that one. It's just there. It does what it says on the tin. We've got a little warranty card going on there. We've got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and we've got the little 18650 adapter, so it fits in there. Because let's not forget, once again, this is a 21700 mod, and for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I get ever so excited about 21700 mods. So let's just go up to the face cam for a second, and just to let you know that we're now going to look at a bunch of different atomizers on here. Hopefully it'll sort of cover a varied range and sizes, so you get an idea what your favorite atomizer might look like on here, because obviously having this honking great big 510 at the top there, that can make some things look a little bit weird and a little bit lost. Now then, the caveat that I mentioned earlier on about the large atomizer. Yes, it's fantastic to have a large atomizer on here, and I think it was Russ possibly in chat who mentioned when we unboxed it that you know, or was it anyway, was saying that, you know, why would you want to put a massive great atomizer on a single battery mod? And that is a very fair question. However, in my thoughts, a lot of the larger tanks, a lot of the thicker tanks also can hold a lot more juice and all that sort of stuff. So just because you're putting a big tank on the top of it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be pumping out, you know, 90 watts the whole time, because obviously that isn't going to last overly long on a single battery, even though it is 21700. So yeah, in my opinion, it's absolutely valid to have a big, massive, great big 510 at the top there. But if you've got something with a beauty ring, particularly that goes out to that sort of size, that would look absolutely stunning, I'm sure. In fact, I should have got an Asgard or something, because I think they come with those, but I didn't, I'm afraid. Sorry. Right, what have we got? We're all doing well in chat. Isn't abalone seafood? It's not abalone. It's not abalone. Dean, you're a tart. Thank you very much. Right, is Mr. Mottram away? I think he is. Right, what else have we got? Okay, cool. So let's see what a bunch of different atomizers look like on here, shall we? Okie dokie. So let's go with a straightforward 24mm. This is the 25mm rather. This is the Asgard. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the Temple from Vapor's Cloud. And that's what we're looking like there. And I mean, you know, there is obviously the top, the flat of the 510, but I don't think it looks too bad. I really don't. I don't think it looks terrible at all. But we'll take that off. Now, where it can start looking, that's not English, Dean. Let's try English. Start looking a bit weird is with a 22mm. Now, this is my Hadley or Hadley. But even then, I mean, you know, you look at directly on the top there, you can see that you've got quite the flat going on. However, I still think that that looks quite cool. I think that looks quite neat. So even though it's got that massive 510, rather than like being on the edge of a huge box, because of this sort of shape that we've got going on up here, I think that looks the bee's knees. I think that looks good. Right, so that's the... that's a couple of RDAs. In fact, we've got a couple more here. I want to do as much consumer information as I can. So there's the an RDA for vaping. Are we going to focus? Go on. You know you want to. There we go. An RDA for vaping on top of there. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your taste buds. Quality little RDA from 2020. We've also got, now this is a big one. This is the Temple, the 28mm Temple from Vapor's Cloud. So you can see there that we are, you know, I mean, if anything, it's looking a little bit top heavy, but it's not, it's certainly not looking uggo in my humble opinion. And once again there, what you've got there, as I said during the unboxing, smaller eyes okay, and stainless darker ones wouldn't look so good. No, absolutely. You're absolutely right there, Stan. So yeah, I mean, I think if you've, it depends on your color schemes and stuff, but stainless all the way IMO. Right, so that was the 28mm Temple. Now, what we've got here is we've got this big beastie from Vapor's Cloud, and the name escapes me, but it's a big one. It's a big one. So this, whose name I can't remember, if someone knows it in chat, please do let me know. This is a 30mm atomizer. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's extreme. But you can see kind of what I'm talking about with the... we're going to focus with the sort of the shoulder going on just underneath the edges of the atomizer there. But yeah, so if you want to put a honking great big atty on there, you can. That's one of those things. But let's try and go for some more sensible looking things, shall we? Trilogy. That's the kitty. Thank you, Rufus. Okay, so 24mm 2019 K-Fun Light with a Steam Tuners top fill cap on there. Again, looks perfectly fine and dandy IMO. I've got two more to go. And we've got, that is the, this is where things can start looking a bit messy. That's the acrylic top for the Precisio. And that starts looking a little bit funky. However, let's take that off and pop this one on. If you want my thoughts on the Pioneer, please do let me know. That's the Pioneer, and that is exactly what we're looking at when it comes to, as what Stan said a little while ago, that stainless atomizers look the bee's knees. And because you've got this honking great big bit of stainless going on out here, that is fantastic. So, you know, that's what we've got to look at right there. There is this big old sort of flat going on. Again, though, I don't think it's too horrific. You're streaming over LBVS, which you're doing. Who's LBVS? I don't know who that is. Right, so what we've got going on now is we've got the GT Typhoon thingy from Aspire. If you want to build your own, or sorry, don't want to build your own wallop, I think that looks good. And last one, which is how I've been using it for since I've had it really, and I'm very much enjoying it, is that I think, oh, come on, focus, you know you want to, you know, kind of. That is with the Cree 24 on it, the Cree 24 sitting on top of there, and I think that looks the business. I'm really happy about that one. So yeah, everyone's a winner. Do you happen to have a Gunmetal Zeus Sub-Ohm or XRTA? No, I don't, I'm afraid, Mowgli. But there we go. So that's what we're looking at there, like that. So let's go back up top. Face cam, wallop. 'Tis my face. Good afternoon. And a happy Christmas to you. Okay, so put on the ha. I don't have one, Tony, so I can't. What have have we got going on? Anyone got any questions about this little? No, should we have a vape? We haven't had a vape yet today. I just panicked then. I thought I'd left it at 100 watts. And what I've been really enjoying, I've got a 0.85 Clapton going on in this Cree at the moment, and it means I'm getting ridiculous levels of battery life. I've got the 40T, the blue Samsung 40T. Is it a 40T? I think it is. One of those puppies. Look. Is that a 40T? I can't remember. One of them. Anyway, so if you've got a reasonable resistance, that does a marvellous job. Could need a bit more power though. All right. Cheeky 30 watts. Let's have a go. Okay, so now for the best bit of this mod, IMO, is the fact that in the UK, Evolution Vaping and I've got this from Lost Vape. Evolution Vaping are going to be selling them for £40.99, and everywhere else they'll be €44.99 in Europe. So £40.99 in the UK, €44.99 in Europe. So that, I think, for this mod is very, very good. I'm very impressed with it. It feels weighty. It feels like it's got some quality going on with it, and that makes me happy. So, is it what I've got to find some negatives? Obviously, that's what I do. The faceplate. The faceplate, I think, is grim. I mean, it's not the worst, to be fair. The screen is super clear. You can see what you're doing. That's brilliant. But I just think that this plastic faceplate cheapens it. I think it just looks a bit naff as a result. And it does hark back massively to the Mirage, as we saw, but I just don't think this does it any favours. If they'd have tried to colour match it, or if they'd have tried to, I don't know, even a stain, I don't know if stainless would have worked. But just tried a little bit harder on that faceplate. I would like to have seen that happen. Although that being said, to come in under the price that it's in, I think possibly we've got to adjust our expectations a little bit. But 40 quid, I think that's marvellous. It looks very hefty and heavy. What would you compare the weight to, Vape and Biker? What would I... Hang on. I have scales. Do. If anyone's interested in seeing a mixing video, I've not done one of them for ages, let me know. And we'll see if we can get one together. Right. With a battery... Woof! No. That's too heavy. Let's take the battery and see if that was just pushing it over the edge. But yes, I can't remember what these. Maximum capacity is 200 grams. There you go. So without the battery, it's 178 grams. 178 grams. What can I compare it to? I know. We've got an Odin single battery here. So there we go. It's a little bit heavier than the single battery Odin 100. So between those two, it's a little bit wider. It's a little tiny bit taller. But there you go. That's what we've got going on there. And this kind of style faceplate on the front of this would look much, much better. IMO. Right, there we go. That's that. We've looked at that. We've looked at a bunch of, pardon me, wind. Looked at a bunch of atomizers on there. Hopefully that's going to give you all of the information that that you need. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some clouds. We haven't had some clouds today yet. Thank you, Ian. Indeed, it was the 40T. Thank you very much indeed. It is a heavy atomizer for sure. It really is a heavy atomizer, heavy mod. But I like it. I mean, I'm old. and okay, we know this, but I firmly believe that I have a certain affiliation for thinking that, you know, weight enthuses quality. That's why I'm fat. Anyway, let me just close this airflow down a wee bit, and we'll take this power up. I haven't put the, I've got a 30T in here now because I'm going to a 0.14 coil, and even though it's a regulated device, let's not tax things too much. 66.6 watts because it would be rude not to. Ta-da! I mean, look at it. Look how classy that looks. Would you look how classy that? I think that looks a tits. Right, let's have a thing. I'm going to need more. Now, this obviously isn't sensible vaping because, you know, it's a single battery mod, but you can if you want to. It's not going to last very long, but you can. I've had no problem with power delivery. It seems to have done what I expected of it, and everyone's a winner there. And it just seems to do what it says on the tin, really. And it's nice to see something from Lost Vape that isn't just a rehash of like the paranormal and that kind of thing. It's nice to see a slightly different shape that is quite tasteful, is very affordable, and it's 21700 because, you know, everyone should have 21700 batteries. This is far too late for me having coffee, but never mind. Okay, so any other questions? What have we got? Does the TC option offer TCR adjustment? What to put your own temp curve in it? No. If that's the question you're asking there. We got any other question? I'm just looking to see if you've got any other questions about this particular mod. Funkadelic fan, are you have I got to beat you or are you okay? What else have we got going on? I used to drive an RX200 in my hand. Too heavy or not so relative? Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, all in all, for 40 quid, I think this is a great mod. Really, I'm very much enjoying it. And I've just closed that airflow up. Does what it says on the tin, and it feels good doing it. If you want to put a honking great big atomizer on there, you certainly can. But I think because of this shape, I think it does mean that you don't have to put a honking great big atomizer on there, and it still looks pretty sweet. That's the 25mm temple on there from Vapors Cloud. Okay, good. Everyone's a winner. I was disappointed with the Mirage. That looks a lot like that one. I compared the two a little while ago. But unlike the Mirage had a battery door that not everybody enjoyed. This has obviously the screw-in battery cap, so that is much nicer. The Mirage feels much bigger. I mean, it's bigger. It's without a doubt it's bigger, but it feels much bigger. This does feel more stealthy. I mean, stealthy for a 21700. What's your coffee mug? It's just something I got off Amazon. Just a cheapy coffee mug. So there we go. There is that. Oh, to be fully transparent, you know that I'm not going to talk bollocks at you, but they did pay for a queue jump on this one because I've got a lot of stuff I do need to do, and this may or may not have seen the light of day. But that doesn't change my opinion on the mod. And as I've said a million times before, if I say something's good that it isn't, or you get one and then you go, well, Dean was lying, it's horseshit, then it's not going to do my reputation any good. So there we go. I just wanted to let you know that one for full transparency. Alrighty. Okay, good. I think we've got it. Jim says I like it. Let's pop a couple of these up there. Let's make you famous. I like it. Definitely a mod for me. Fantastic. Can you do a close-up on the radius on the wood? Well, I suppose I probably could. Hang you on. Da, da, da. There we go. Especially for you, that did he? Look at that. Look. See? Wallop. Does look a little bit like a lolly stick. I'm not going to lie. But there you go. Does look a little bit like a lolly stick. Right, what else? What's the battery life like? Very good. Like I said, my preferred vaping with it has been with the Cree 24 on it, because I think it looks the business. I couldn't figure out if I wanted to say the business or bee's knees then, but I think it looks really, really good with the Cree 24, and because of that, I've been putting a high resistance coil in it from 0.5 and up. And the battery life has been great, especially because I've been using a 40T because of the higher resistance rather than, you know, knocking the bum out of it, you know. So that was answering your question, Mr. Kane. Isn't that half the price of the Mirage? Yes, but the Mirage also had a DNA board in it. So that'll probably be why. Thank you very much, Adrian. Walnut tongue depressor. Absolutely, it does look a little bit like that, doesn't it? Are the wooden panels changeable? No, they're not. No, unfortunately, they're not. They are what they are. I mean, I imagine if you got one, you could probably pry it off and make something fun to put in there if you wanted to. I'm not entirely sure if that's why Diddy was asking a little while ago, but imagine you could. And for 40 quid, you're not going to lose a great deal if you make a bit of a cock up of it, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I think the wood ones, in my opinion, look nicer than the super colourful kind of that sort of stuff. But you know, horses for courses. We all like different things, don't we? Definitely looks like a robot, but that's okay. It does indeed, absolutely. Right. Good. I think we're done then, aren't we? That is that. Unless there's any more questions about this particular mod, do let me know now. Otherwise, we're going to go, and that'll be the end of this evening. And we will see about doing something else maybe tomorrow. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have got the notification bell turned on, and everyone's a winner. Alrighty. Diddy was thinking about gluing a nail file in place. I guess so. It would probably be easier just to add a bit of skateboard grip tape to what's already there, to be fair. Sealer, I got you, buddy. I've got your answers. I'll help you out. So wish they released the E-Petite DNA 60. Yeah, I mean, I've still got my E-Petite from years ago, and I love it still. I think it's fantastic. Stan still isn't keen. But that's fair enough. It's personal taste, absolutely. Anything else? Any more before we go? I think we are pretty much jobs are good and just over half an hour. Well, nearly 40 minutes. And I wanted to keep these reasonably short and sweet purely because I think that there's more of a chance of people watching them after the fact. But also, I'm sure you get bored of my face. So we might do more of a sort of a general get together and what have you on Friday evening if we do a live stream then. But I'm not promising. But let's just see what we can get through and see what stuff I can show you over the coming few days. Shall we? Right. That's it. Do you have a link where to buy it? Evolution Vaping, the only people that Lost Vape have told me about. I've not looked on Evo Vaping, and I don't know if the code BIKER will get you any more off that might pay for the postage or not. I don't know. It's worth a go though if you haven't tried it. But yeah, so I haven't got a link, but those guys are certainly worth checking out, and they're the people that Lost Vape told me about. All right, gravy. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope it was informative, helpful, useful. Feel free to share it to someone else that you might feel it'll be useful with words. A share and a like is always appreciated. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Dean, the Vaping Biker, and I will see you tomorrow. Yes. See you then. Bye-bye.